My friends. Yeah, it's been nearly a month ago since I uploaded the last video. 24th of November was the Sd.Kfz Zen. Sd.Kfz 10. Yeah, my English is not the best today. I'm not drunk enough to speak fluent English. Anyways, since then I've been cooking. Yeah, it's been nearly a month, and the Sd.Kfz 10 was built already in October. Like, or at least the model that I'm showing today was also started in October, early November. But it took me quite some time to make it the best model of my model building career so far. At least 35th scale. For 72nd scale, I would still go with the Panther I've shown in, what was it, July, I think. Anyways, without further ado, let's jump right into the building process. And I'll tell you what I did to make it look extremely beautiful. So starting off with the assembly of the hull, you can see there is some plates that you have to glue on, which even for a 90s kit, Dragon is still very, very good fitting. I mean, yes, Dragon is always a good fitting company, except a certain 72nd scale model I've built from them. It was a Porsche Tiger. Well, anyways, it has a nice fit, and it really sticks, well, not really sticks, but you know, it really holds together nicely after some glue is applied. Also, one set of road wheels is already assembled and glued to the model. I did make a mistake for the front wheel to glue it on and not leave it separate for easier painting and for the application of the tracks later on. Yeah, it was a mistake, but that's normal on this channel. And yeah, I didn't want to show you guys 2 times of making the road wheels, so I cut it a bit. And here we can see me making the obvious mistake of gluing the wheel permanently to the vehicle. Ah yes, the biggest flaw for beginners maybe, but not for experienced modelers like me, and I still have it on camera. The audacity! Another nice thing to note about this Dragon kit is that some details on the lower hull have to be glued on as extra pieces, as you can see here. This is really nice, and if I would have used some panel liner on the lower hull, this would pop really great. And for the upper hull of the Pancake, we only have the top armor plate, where you have to glue on the hatches and the vision port thingies, as well as the gunner side and the commander's sides. And then you really glue it onto your top half, so to say, the rest of the upper hull, and call it a day. And it's a very easy but still good step for a quick assembly of the top hull. Another thing that happened quite a lot during the entire building and painting process of this vehicle. The sides, not the sides, the hatch from the commander sides broke off multiple times, as well as the light that I'm gluing on here. That was really annoying, but that's nothing super glue can't handle. I also glued the tools right into place because for the outcome of the vehicle it was necessary. I can still paint them while they're glued on, and I can still fix any overpainting with the brush with the camouflage color later on. One note here, the handle that you can see, I could have made this one from wire, but I tended to leave this kit mostly out of the box. So I also have to mention that the way on how the spare wheels on the Jagdpanzer 4 are put in place is really nice, and I wish I would have known about this before. Then I would have built the Jagdpanzer 4 earlier and maybe more Jagdpanzers. But did you know that next year this channel will also feature Jagdpanzer 4s? And after I glued on the turret, I assembled the rest of the tank off screen. Wasn't very important to me. And here you can see my over-exaggerated tracks. But how did I build the tracks? I will show you. So the tracks were single pieces, and the problem with single pieces, you might need a bit more glue. Yes, I use extra film from Tamiya, and I applied the coat before and after putting the links together. But you know, double tap, always double tap. That's something that you can do in zombie apocalypses according to Zombieland, and that you also can do with your glue. And well, you can see by this little spare track that I have many track pieces left. I made another spare track, and then I just, you know, I put them into my spare box for future Panzer 3s and 4. And you can judge me if you want, but I like this over-exaggerated track stacking. I really love this. Yes, if I would have used 3-real tracks, it would look way more better, but don't judge me. We all have our experiments on our models. Speaking of experiments, I also added a bucket with somewhat out of place bent wire to hold the bucket, and I had some fuel cans. You can see that I arranged them in a certain way, but little spoiler, I decided against them. I decided to use fuel cans on a later Panzer 4 version or a later Jagdpanzer 4 version or an Eschstück. But I decided not to on my little Jagdpanzer 4 F-Series. Also, the method I used for the texture on the armor, that's just diluting some putty. I choose Revell putty with some Revell glue. I will show you guys this in the next Jagdpanzer 4 video. I kind of forgot to record this. But anyways, for painting, we use Tamiya XF2 flat white as the base color. And well, for some parts, not the tracks, but for some parts of the vehicle. And then I used Tamiya XF1 for some, well, black lines, shadows that you might see later on, but will still get covered up in most parts. And now for the camo scheme of the vehicle. Since the Jagdpanzer 4 was introduced very late into the war, we use dark yellow 2 from Tamiya. It's XF88. Very nice dark yellow. And while I spray the dark yellow on, you can see that I did a very good job on the armor texture. Of course, I sanded the armor texture a bit afterwards, after applying, but it looks nice. And according to the research I did on German and some other allied armor, it is realistic enough for this scale. Okay, yes, maybe a bit overdone, but you know what this piece of metal is supposed to be. After the dark yellow was dry, I used my favorite masking solution for, well, up until now, which is Pancake, to mask off for the first color, which was Tamiya NATO Green. I sprayed in a very thin layer with a, well, I think a 0.2mm nozzle and 0.2mm needle. Not really sure anymore. At least that's my go-to type for the airbrush. And yeah, Tamiya colors are straight up usable for your airbrush. I mean, you can thin them down a bit more, but if you use an airbrush, it's fine like it is. And for the red brown, I actually used Tamiya XF68 NATO brown. It still works as a red brown, and well, many people, even like big YouTubers like Andy Hobby Headquarters, use it for German armor. Yes, I know there is some different color I could use. I think I even have it, but I choose to take the red brown. It was in the reach of my hand, you know. I just could stretch my arm out and grab the bottle from the shelf and didn't have to stand up. Now for the satisfying part. Peeling off the Pancake and reveal the paint job, which isn't perfect, but it shouldn't be perfect. I mean, these sharp lines I have are achieved by masking off. When the Wehrmacht or SS panzer units applied colors in the field, they just got the spray pistol and whatever color they have and a sponge. And that's how they applied the paint. They didn't have time to mask it off. I also used some AK products I bought on this kit, which are European Earth Pigment and a pigment binder, and Extreme Colors Gunmetal. You can see the result here. Next time I record it, I think it worked. And here you can see I did a few scratches. Next time I might do more scratches on the vehicle, as well as painting the turrets. I used some Revell colors for it, and of course here you can see that some, well, parts are still in the ground base camo color, whatever. And yeah, I repainted this afterwards, but I thought for 1/35 scale I can show how I paint it. I mean, I have pretty bad eyesight after all. And now my favorite part, decals. I used decals from the Revell headsaw on this kit, the 45th scale headsaw, because the decals from the 90s are too old to be used. They would have been either ripped at some points or broke like by the nearest contact with water, and that's why I choose to take a bit newer ones. I still like those decals from the headsaw. I realized I took the wrong crosses, but who cares? I mean, they are not visible in the end. And now you wonder, what do you mean, Terps? Why aren't they visible? I'll show you why they aren't visible in the end. That's right, I actually went outside to, first of all, touch my yearly doses of grass, and second of all, to gather small, sticks from bushes and the, local fauna I have to make some camouflage with some little leaves. And let me tell you, this was a nightmare to do. Okay, so now how did I make those branches? Well, first of all, after some good collecting outside from the local bushes I have in my city, I got some wooden glue. You can use ordinary white glue or some super glue if you want. I used some glue for wood. That's pretty common in the shops around me, around my apartment. And then I had this bag full of those tiny leaves. And then I just took the branch full of glue, put it inside the bag, you can see it on screen, shook it a bit, and boom, we have a tree branch. And after applying those branches, I called it good. And there we have it, the finished Jagdpanzer 4. I promised it somewhere in the middle of the year, I think when I made the halfway through the year video. I managed to build it. It turned out so great. When I finished it, 15 to 20 minutes were wasted just looking at the beauty in my hands. This little tank destroyer. Yeah, honestly, you should get it. It's a Dragon kit. Yes, I know it's reboxed by Revell. If you want to have the number of the Revell kit, I leave it in the description down below. But it's great. It's a Dragon kit. You can get it on eBay for 20 euros minimum, up to 35, 40 euros. Dragon kit. Yeah, just remember it's a Dragon kit. And you can still get aftermarket pieces like metal gun barrel or fuel tracks. Yes, I know fuel isn't the best with the quality right now. The quality worsened the longer they existed. But they still have nice metal tracks. Or just get some, I don't know, I think there's already 3D printed tracks which are very great and interlocking. Yeah. But overall, it's a great kit. And I have to say, this might sound a bit like, self-praising or self-loving, whatever, narcissist for me, but I love how I made this kit pop. I just love it, okay? I just love this kit, how it looks now with the branches, with the camouflage scheme, and even with the dirt, with the pigments and the pigment binder. Yes, I don't have pictures here, but they are on my Instagram. So I think this is a great model before Christmas. And now I wish you guys Merry Christmas, and I'll see you in the next video at the last day of the year. Until then, have a nice rest of your day. Goodbye.